welcome to another installment of the Robert and Crew Show with your hosts, Robert and Crew.
Welcome back to another episode of the Robert and Crew Show. Now, before I go on, there's a video I have to play that will be playing at the beginning of every podcast. So here we go.
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. No view in this podcast should be taken literal unless one of us says it is our personal opinion. But even so, it is only that, an opinion.
All right. So, how you doing tonight, Crew?
Pretty good. And we got a special for all of you tonight. The Bohemian Grove.
Oh, we got a really big topic. We got a secret society, a harmful, horrible conspiracy that hurts people.
Mm-hmm.
Bohemian motherfucking Grove.
Now, we typically don't do these kind of conspiracies, but we don't give a shit. We were going to do one.
It is one of those times, man, where the world around us is slowly starting to spill its secrets. So I think everybody is okay to talk about this kind of stuff now.
Mm-hmm. Now, we typically do conspiracies on Saturday, but Robert wanted to take a night off, enjoy himself. So we're doing this conspiracy tonight.
Yes. So we got the conspiracy show for you tonight. It's the Bohemian Grove episode. If you don't know, Bohemian Grove is located in the redwood forest. And there's some pretty spooky stuff around it. Supposedly, world leaders, big people, high up investors, people of big name all get together, run around naked, howling at the moon, and do ritualistic things, mock sacrifices, and pray to an owl named Moloch.
And I got membership and notable attendees. If you want to go ahead and go over that real quick.
So, with the membership and notable attendees, let's hear it. What do you got to do to have a membership at the elusive Bohemian Grove or the Bohemian Club?
Okay, so membership in the Bohemian Club and thus access to the Grove is highly exclusive. With a current roster of about 2,500, joining requires an invitation from multiple members, a $25,000 initiation fee, and annual dues, with waitlists historically stretching 20 to 33 years, though it's said to be shorter for musicians or performers. Members earn old guard status after 40 years, granting perks like reserved seating at the Grove, daily lakeside talks, where prominent figures discuss policy and ideas. Attendees have included every Republican U.S. president since Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, and both George H.W. and George W. Bush, along with figures like Henry Kissinger, Clint Eastwood, Walter Cronkite. The Grove has. Oh, thank you. The Grove has also hosted pivotal moments such as a 1942 meeting that planned the Manhattan Project, attended by J. Robert Oppenheimer and Ernest Lawrence. Thank you. And Nixon's 1967 speech, which he called a milestone on his path to presidency.
Yeah, so those are definitely some notable people that definitely showed up, like Oppenheimer at the Bohemian Grove. That's crazy. And then you have Nixon and all these Republican presidents, every Republican president since Calvin Coolidge. That's crazy. So
Now,
founding and origin, the Bohemian Grove, located in Monte Rio, California, is about 2,700 acres, 1,100 lecture private campground owned by the Bohemian Club. an exclusive all-male social club. The Bohemian Club itself was founded in 1972 in San Francisco by a group of artists, writers, actors, lawyers, and journalists who were drawn together by a shared interest in arts, culture, and intellectual pursuits. The terms bohemian here reflects the culture, urban sophistication of its early members rather than the more modern association with free spirited nonconformity. Among the notable early figures was Henry Edwards, a stage actor whose departure to New York in 1878 prompted the club's first informal gathering in the Redwood Forest, setting the stage for what would become an annual tradition. The tradition of the Summer of Encampments began 6 years after the club's founding, with the first recorded event occurring on June 29th of 1878 in Martin County in Marin County near present-day Samuel P. Taylor State Park. The initial gathering was to send off Fort Edwards, featuring free-flowing liquor and festive atmosphere under Japanese lanterns, the members sleeping in on blankets amid the redwood needles. The enthusiasm for the event led to the establishment of the annual summer retreat in 1899. The club purchased the land in Monte Rio that would become the Bohemian Grove thanks to a sale by Melvin Cyrus Meeker. The permanent site solidified as the Grove as the club's summer hub.
Now, I do know that it's private property and no one's allowed to be on the property. But
yeah, so
there,
I do have the exact location of the Bohemian Grove. The exact location of Bohemian Grove is rested in a secluded area of Sonoma County, California, surrounded by ancient redwood forest that includes trees over 1,000 years old, towering more than 300 feet and 91 meters. The main encampment spares 160 acres, 65 hectares of old growth redwoods, with the broader property encompassing about 2,700 acres. The site lies along a dirt road dotted with over 100 individual camps, 118 as of 2007, each with its own cabin or clubhouse, bearing evocative names like Mandalay, Los Angeles, and Caveman Camp. A central feature is an artificial lake flanked by a 30-foot, 9-meter hollow concrete owl statue named Moloch, designed in the late 1920s by sculptor Hag Padigan, a two-time club president. This owl shrine, symbolizing wisdom, serves as a backdrop for the annual cremation of care ceremony, a mock sacrifice. The Grove's rustic setting, lacking modern amenities in the cell phone service and its isolation, enhanced by mystique and exclusivity.
do you know what this club reminds me of?
What does the club remind you of?
So I'm using a Batman reference real quick. You know that one villain group that has owl masks that fight with Batman?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Hold on, I'm gonna look them up because I can't remember for the life of me. It's the name is not clicking my head. So give me a second. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, the cremation of care is a very weird ritual. Basically, it's a mock human sacrifice that is done in front of a 30-foot owl. Or it might not be 30 feet, but it's really big. It's a pretty big owl statue, and they recently it was assumed to be originally thought to be rock, but since the Grove has been infiltrated by multiple people now, one of the first, most famously being Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist who blew up the internet with the first leaked Bohemian Grove video, and then a couple other random content creators who have managed to sneak into the Grove and have gone and seen the owl for themselves have figured out that the owl is actually made out of plaster, and you can go inside of the owl even.
Ryan Garcia being one of them. But
Yeah,
I
Ryan
did find
Garcia.
the name of the group. They're called the Court of Owls. Origin: the Court of Owls was introduced in a 2011 comic book series, Batman Volume 2, Number 1, created by writer Scott Snyder and artist Greg Capullo. Purpose: the Court of Owls is a cabal of wealthy and influential individuals who have been secretly controlling Gotham City for centuries. They use their wealth, power, and network of assassins, known as the Talons, to maintain their grip on the city. Symbolism: the owl is a symbol of wisdom, mystery, and death, reflecting the court's themes of intelligence, secrecy, and ruthlessness. Goals: the Court of Owls seeks to maintain their control over Gotham City, eliminating anyone who threatens their power. They also aim to reshape the city in their image, using their wealth and influence to create a new order. Enemies: the Court of Owls is a formidable foe for Batman, who must use all his skills and resources to uncover their secrets and stop their plans. Other enemies of the court include other superheroes such as Nightwing and Robin, who have also clashed with the organization.
Yeah, that does sound pretty similar to Bohemian Grove, like a big organization that is planning things behind people's backs.
Do you think that DC Comics did an adaptation version of Bohemian
The
Grove?
Bohemian Club, sure,
Yeah.
sure, they
So
probably
that
did.
yeah, like that's interesting if you think about it.
It definitely
And
is. So,
and
oh
I'm a huge Batman fan.
oh yeah, Batman's amazing. But before we go into anything else, I've got some about the meetings and the events there. So at Bohemian Grove, the primary event at Bohemian Grove is the annual summer encampment. It's held in mid-July and it lasts just over 2 weeks. The gathering, which began in 1878 and was formalized at the Grove in 1899, attracts approximately 2,000 to 2,500 members and guests, including some of the world's most influential men, past U.S. presidents, CEOs, military leaders, and cultural figures. The encampment kicks off with the cremation of care, a theatrical ritual instituted in 1881, where a figure representing a doll care is symbolically burned before an owl shrine to banish worldly concerns, described by the club as a celebration of nature and summer. The ceremony has fueled speculation about its deeper meaning, ranging from the light-hearted theater to the darker interpretations by outsiders. Beyond this flagship event, the Grove hosts additional gatherings throughout the year, though. These are less publicized. Spring Jinks, a smaller day use events, allow members to bring pre-screened guests, including spouses and children, but only when no major club events are scheduled. Women historically are excluded from membership, so women were permitted to work in limited roles. Following in 1978, California's Supreme Court ruling against the club's discriminatory practices, but they remain banned from the main encampment. The total number of meetings per year is precisely documented, but the July encampment is the cornerstone, supplemented by the occasional smaller gatherings, like totaling a handful of events annually. So women aren't even allowed in the club.
Mm.
You're not like they're allowed to work at the club, but they're not allowed to go into the actual club itself, into the Bohemian Grove. They're not allowed to see the stuff that goes on.
There's a pastor, famous pastor, who I believe his voice was heard in one of the club meetings.
Is Kenneth Copeland.
Yep. He has that
Yeah.
weird, like, evil laugh.
He's a demon, man.
I know.
I will say to this day, like, I mean, like it says in the very beginning, all of these opinions are just opinions, guys. But
Yeah.
Kenneth Copeland, in my own opinion, that man is a demon. He acts crazy. He does not appear to really care about people. He just wants money. He uses God to make money. He's literally a demon. Let's get into the first video.
The Bohemian Club Did you say the Bohemian Club? That's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right? I've never been to the Bohemian Club, but you ought to go. It'd be good for you. Get some fresh air.
Parece que el expresidente sabe mucho de lugares donde ir a tomar aire fresco.
So that was very famously when a guy called out Bill Clinton at a press conference about what the Bohemian Grove was. And Bill Clinton, of course, denied ever going to the Bohemian Grove and kicked the man out of the press conference.
Yep.
I think if Bill Clinton went to, that allegedly went to that Epstein Island over 28 times, I'm pretty sure he probably went to the Grove too.
Yeah.
I might be a clone right now. Did they clone me? I'm dead ass, bro. I don't feel like myself. I feel like a shell of myself. They cloned me for sure.
That's your Ryan Garcia stuff. I don't know very much about the Ryan Garcia conspiracy, but didn't he say that he was allegedly basically trafficked at Bohemian Grove?
Yeah, and not only that, but remember that when we were doing the Illuminati video episode last season,
Yeah.
and you showed what happened, what was going on with Britney Spears.
Yes.
The same
The
fucking thing
MK
happened to him. Yeah, MK Ultra happened to him.
He claims that he was that they did MK Ultra mind control on him.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Ryan Garcia made a claim that as a kid he was held down in a forest and watched some really nasty stuff happen. Bohemian Grove exists. There's no proof that children are being sacrificed there, or that, as Ryan said, they are spreading and drinking out of them. That is what he said. Those were his exact words.
He's obviously in some sort of mental breakdown, a manic state. Ryan has been intrigued by conspiracies. On this very podcast, he told us he thinks the earth is flat.
The flat earth theory. Yeah, that one's my favorite one.
If you believe that, what else are you susceptible to believe? Yeah. It invalidates potentially everything that comes out of your mouth.
Ryan Garcia is a fucking flat earther, motherfucker. That's what's up.
Yeah, but Logan Paul just said you're crazy because you believe in flat Earth, bro.
Oh, I don't give a flying fuck what Logan Paul has to say on that. But you know what? Ryan Garcia's a flat earther just like me. So
Go
what
meet
the
Paul
fuck?
in the ring and tell him that.
Hell no, I'm not that stupid. He has metal in his freaking fist, bro. I am not getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. So, what do you know about Kenneth Copeland, the pastor that allegedly has been heard, or his voice was used during the cremation of Care?
I know that Kenneth Copeland is a piece of shit. I don't like listening to him when he gives sermons. He's a money gobbling nuisance, and he uses God for his own gain, which is not okay.
Okay, so yes, I would definitely say you're right on that. Said basically, Kenneth Max Copeland was born December 6th, 1936, in Lubbock, Texas. He's an American televangelist, author, musician, and public speaker who is widely recognized as a leading figure in the charismatic movement and word faith prosperity gospel. Raised in West Texas near a U.S. Army Air Force airfield, Copeland's childhood proximity to aviation sparked a lifelong passion for flying, he eventually leading him to become a licensed pilot. Before his religious career, he briefly pursued a secular path as a recording artist with Imperial Records, scoring a Billboard top 40 hit in 1957 with Pledge of Love, which preached at a number 17 and charted for 15 weeks. This early brush with fame, however, gave way to a dramatic shift in focus after a spiritual awakening in his late 20s. Copeland's personal life included 3 marriages. He first married Ivy Boldford in October of 1955, with whom he had a daughter, Terry Copeland Pearsons. They divorced in 1958. His second marriage to Cynthia Davis lasted from 1958 to 1961. In 1963, he married Gloria Neese, his current wife, over 60 years, with whom he had 2 more children, Kelly Copeland and John Copeland. This partnership with Gloria would become central to his ministry and public persona. Kenneth Copeland Ministries, KCM, was founded in 1967 in Fort Worth, Texas. After a pivotal movement in Copeland's life, he initially resistant to a religious calling. Copeland enrolled at the Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1966 at the age of 29. Following what describes as divine instruction with no money for tuition and a young family to support, he relied on faith and landed a job as a pilot and chauffeur for Oral Roberts, a prominent healing evangelist. While at ORU, Copeland and Gloria attended seminars by Kenneth E. Copeland or by Hagin, a key figure in the Word Faith movement, which teaches the faith expressed through positive confessions and giving unlocks divine blessings such as health and wealth. This revelation that God's word could be a practical tool for life transformed their perspective and laid the foundation for his foundation. So basically what he is a televangelist. So he goes on TV and he yells at people and basically gets them to feel like they're terrible and going to hell if they don't give him tithes or donate to his charity. And to put it into perspective, Kenneth Copeland has been called demonic because he speaks in weird tongues in certain videos around the internet where he just speaks random demonic languages that nobody's ever heard before because they're not languages, but he speaks them and they're weird. His eyes have changed during interviews before, and people have claimed that he might be like some kind of demon because of that. And then also he takes and takes and takes, and he says that it's because God wants him to have what he has. There's a literal video of a reporter coming up to him and asking him, "Why do you fly in a private jet if you feel like there's all these people out here that are looking up to you for God and you don't really seem to care. You're spending all of their money on your lifestyle and you're not doing what you promised to do for them." And basically Kenneth Copeland snaps at him and says, "I fly in this private jet because God wants me to have this private jet. God did this for me." And it's absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, here's what the Kenneth Copeland voice at Bohemian
which hitherto have not from regions where
That was actually where he's arguing with that person. That's actually the interview I'm talking about, where the dude goes and asks him about his private jet, and he starts yelling at him about how God wants him to have this. Of course, Kenneth Copeland's at Bohemian Grove. I truly believe that that's definitely a possibility. That dude has so much money and can pay to go to any party or any place he ever wants to go to.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on all of it?
I believe it.
Do you think Kenneth Copeland's a demon?
Yeah.
Yeah. That man is bad news. He's not a very good guy by any means. We got some comments here rolling in from Julie. She says, "Hey guys, yep, probably so. I ended up seeing Gloria Copeland before. Looks like almost evil." So she's agreeing with us. So we'll start the next video then. That's enough on Kenneth Copeland, that demonic little character.
Bohemian Grove is this place in California where all the elites go and they put fucking druid costumes on, and they worship Moloch, the owl god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And Nixon went there, and Reagan went there. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like
Bohemian Grove. You don't know what it is?
Nixon and Reagan went
Bohemian
there?
Grove is a famous place where rich world leaders would meet in Northern California. And they literally worship this Moloch, the owl god, and everybody thought it was bullshit. But John Ronson and Alex Jones snuck in.
Absolutely crazy. I don't know if I have the original Alex Jones footage. I might have it in here. I don't know. But either way,
I did send you them.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that Alex Jones was able to be one of the first people to ever sneak into Bohemian Grove and figure out what was actually going on, and that there was this giant owl statue and these cremation of care ceremonies and these mock sacrifices, and that basically these politicians were running around and acting extremely weird and just being weird. It's such an odd thing to even think about.
Was that Bohemian Grove shit real?
Yes, that shit is all real, bro. That shit, they tried to make me lose my memory. They fucking MK Ultra'd me for like 2 years. That's when I did my first mental health break in 2021. They fucked me over.
What did they do for the MK Ultra?
I couldn't remember anything.
What did they do?
So like I would remember something, then I would forget. I thought I had dementia.
Guys, I'm talking to Ryan right now. He's not crazy.
So,
he seems like he knows what he's talking about.
So I almost had, I went through like a year and a half of like having my memory and then getting it erased, having my memory, and then I would cry every day and that's when I was really bad. That's when I actually had mental health issues. So they really fucked me over bad. But then they didn't know that God was going to bring me back. And now that God brought me back, I'm coming with a vengeance. You guys fucked up. So you guys fucked up. You messed with one of God's anointed, you guys are fucked.
So what's Mr. Garcia saying there? Is he saying he's going to come after the people that did that to him, and he's going to expose the people of Bohemian Grove?
Sounds about right.
I honestly would love to see that. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Right.
How do you feel about Ryan Garcia? Do you think he's telling the truth, or do you think he's doing all of this for attention?
I think he's telling the truth.
It's so hard to know with celebrities. And like I know that there's a lot of children celebrities that were abused or hurt, and I'm not saying that's not true by any means, because we have so much proof on that. But I don't know if I can believe that, this one guy was susceptible to all of this and was tortured in this aspect, and then wasn't killed, wasn't taken care of. They didn't get rid of the problem. It doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't you take care of the problem if it's going to end up exposing you? That's the only thing. Like, there's so many powerful people there. Why would they let him get away?
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me. Is it for attention? I don't know. Maybe it is. Julie says she saw a video where President Bush went there. Yes, President Bush. I don't know about Daddy Bush, but I know that George W. Bush did, for a fact, go to Bohemian Grove.
So this is the entry to Bohemian Grove. It's like a secret cult deep in the redwoods where they host super private meetings. Presidents have been here, super powerful people with tons of money. But I'm definitely gonna try to see that owl statue and where they do some sort of ritual.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him. For behold, here is Bohemian shrine, and holy are the pillars of this house.
This might be the best way into the site. That water's deep and it's cold as fuck.
The kayak. Got a cast iron to use as a paddle. This place is starting to freak me out. I'm hearing very weird noises. So I just shine my light in here, and all the lights just turned on.
Creepy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy, creepy, creepy.
Well, why does it go through this stub like that? Huh, what is this? This is the main housing center. Oh my god. There's so many. Bro, what is that? What is that? What is that? It's literally Chinatown. Those are Japanese style. Oh, you can see better on it. Oh my god.
Yo, it's right there. That's it. Is that it? That's it. That's it.
We found it. We found it.
Oh my god, there it is. That's it, right there. The owl statue.
It says old guard on that. Oh my god. There's a car. Oh. What? Why is this like a Chinese town? Oh my god, these are buses. Carry everybody. Oh my god.
We need an entire documentary to come out about Bohemian Grove.
Right.
We need somebody to go in there and literally document absolutely everything. Like we need an insider who is going to be there anyways, that's at those meetings, that can go in there and somehow infiltrate and get everything on camera. Just blow it open. We need a whistleblower to just blow open everything on Bohemian Grove.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they say that like the super famous meeting for the Manhattan Project happened there. You know about the Manhattan Project, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so the Manhattan Project is a weird one. It was the atomic bomb. So the Manhattan Project was the Manhattan Project was the top secret U.S.-led effort during World War II to develop the first atomic bomb, a scientific and military endeavor that reshaped global history. Its root traced to 1939 when Albert Einstein and physicist Leo Szilard, alarmed by Nazi Germany's potential to harness nuclear fission, discovered that year by Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann, penned a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt dated August 2nd, 1939, and delivered on October 11th. The letter warned of the possibility of extremely powerful bombs, a new type, and urged U.S. action. Roosevelt responded by forming the Advisory Committee on Uranium, chaired by Lyman Briggs. Through an early progress was slow amid bureaucratic hesitation and limited funding. The project gained momentum in 1941 as fears grew that Germany under Adolf Hitler was racing towards a nuclear weapon. Britain's Maud Committee report shared that the U.S. confirmed the feasibility of a fission bomb using uranium-235, estimating a critical mass of just 10 kilograms, 22 pounds, could unleash a devastation equivalent to thousands of tons of TNT on December 6, 1941, eve of Pearl Harbor attack. Roosevelt approved intensified research. The Manhattan Project formally launched in June of 1942 under the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, with Colonel James C. Marshall initially overseeing it. So the Manhattan Project was all about creating the atomic bomb, and supposedly it was discussed. That whole project was supposedly discussed at Bohemian Grove. At least that's what the old conspiracy theorists say, and the old insiders of Bohemian Grove. some people had some information and released it to the public. Who knows what's real and what's not? But supposedly the Manhattan Project was completely and totally discussed at Bohemian Grove. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to get out of here. What do you think?
Okay, before everyone gets all uppity, this doesn't mean that the Bohemian Club members are trying to eat your babies, but it is a pretty good indicator of how the folks at the Bohemian Club operate. Greg, the security guard, he was real friendly. He was real pleasant to Buddy, Mac, and Scott, right? But he wasn't being completely straight with them either. Before Greg came out to talk, he'd already called the local police on us. So of course, Bohemian Grove, it's private property. They're well within their rights in preventing trespassers. But for the first time, we saw the iron fist that sits inside that velvet glove. We're in Monterey, California, investigating the Bohemian Club. It's one of the most exclusive and secretive societies in the world. Every summer, the club holds a retreat at a place called the Grove. And many of the club are some of the richest and most powerful members of our country. We're talking about presidents, cabinet members, CEOs, generals, even Hollywood celebrities. The club has a strict policy of never revealing what goes on behind the gates of the Grove. So think of it like Fight Club for rich people. And you know rule number 1 of Fight Club.
You don't talk about Fight Club, bro.
Yeah, you don't talk about Fight Club. You don't talk about the Grove. The Grove don't get talked about. Fight Club don't get talked about. But guess what? Tonight we're talking about the Grove.
Oh yeah.
Might as well start talking about Fight Club too.
There's this YouTuber, Dancer1, and he snuck into the Bohemian Grove. And it's really creepy. He went like crazy far with it. He went into some of the buildings, and it had this creepy looking weird clown demon goblin.
Oh, weird.
There's like a iron bowl with 2 owls on each side of it in front of the giant owl statue. Scary. And then the pit where they light the fire and do the mock sacrifice. The owl is also made out of like plaster or something.
Really?
The owl statue, yeah, because he knocked on it, was hollow, and you can go behind it and go up inside the owl.
No way.
Yeah, there's stairs.
But what was really creepy is a couple times throughout the video, you heard what sounded like humans doing owl noises.
No thanks. What a little adventurer.
Yeah.
Ew. I don't want to hear owl noises screaming at me from the Bohemian Grove while I'm sitting inside of a giant plaster owl.
I'm right there with you.
He approaches the Bohemian Grove, whom Ryan Garcia denounces, and makes a terrible mistake.
Who was that?
I don't know.
Hot! Get over here! Jeff! There's nobody here!
Oh my gosh. There's no way.
Jeff, there's no one in here!
He just vanished.
Jeff, there's nowhere he could have went.
You guys all right?
Did you see that person in the black cloak?
I don't know what the hell I seen, Buck.
I come running up to this barn. I look through the window. I see this cloaked figure go through the door.
Whoa.
But he didn't come out the other side. It's like he turned into the wind and just vanished.
What the hell was that?
In all my days on this world, I've never seen anything like that. I don't understand.
Why the video look so fake though?
Right.
Like that looks so fake. I'm sorry, it just looks so fake. I don't believe that at all. That's just trying to hype up the conspiracy.
Yeah.
That's like adding a spooky ghost in to make things even scarier. How crazy would it be though if that was like really happening and these demonic like demon figures were just walking around, walking through random doors in the middle of the woods? Why was there a door in the middle of the woods?
I have no clue why. That's weird.
Right, that was a weird one. I don't like that video. I think that's completely false.
He approaches the Bohemian Grove.
It looks so bad, guys. Check this out. Just the first 5 seconds of this is so terrible.
He approaches the Bohemian Grove, whom Ryan Garcia denounces, and makes a terrible mistake.
That is AI as shit. You see the way that door opens up and then slams? It's like they overlaid that video, that original video, and added that crap in and then had those people talk like it actually happened. I don't know. I've never actually seen that, like whatever that is, but that did not look real. That was definitely edited in. What are your thoughts on that?
No comment.
I wish we had better videos of the inside of the Grove. But it's so hard for these people to get in there, and then the videos that we do have, I bet there's some on YouTube, but I don't want to clip entire videos to put them on here. But I wish we had better videos.
So at this point, the only sign says there's no lifeguard on duty. We're fine with that. Here's the deal with the no trespassing sign. If you didn't see it, it's not posted properly. So if you end up going up over here and you didn't see it, you didn't see it. Did you see it?
I don't see one. Let's go.
We're gonna go off and take a look at the woods.
I want to go up there.
That's the only way up. You go up, there's a bridge across, and you're in the main area.
Okay.
There's a cop up there. There's a cop up there.
Here he comes. Get, go, go, go. Go. Go, Alex. Get Alex out of here.
The whole mission blew up. It was chaos. The cops came. They're still up there. I think they're getting arrested. I don't know what's happening to them. These guys are my friends. I'm really worried about them. I hope they're okay. But I have no idea what's going on right now.
Okay, let me tell you how this played out from my end of the phone. My phone starts ringing. Don't forget, they're on the West Coast. I was on the East Coast. So it's almost midnight. And when the phone is ringing at midnight, you know something bad has happened.
What is that show?
I have no clue.
Because they had Alex Jones with them.
Mm-hmm.
Take them to where Bohemian Grove was.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
Bro, is one of my buddies in there? No way, they're sacrificing. They might be sacrificing one of the people they caught sneaking into the grove.
Bohemians! Bohemians! By the power of your fellowship, Goldcare is slain! But your evil genius followed you. He lurked amid the shadows of these trees. He sought to chill the circle round your fire this night. But the desperate calls of your hearts, the glad spirits of the grove have answered. They have overwhelmed the evil intruder. Care, your ancient enemy, is no more!
they're sacrificing. They might be sacrificing one of the people they caught sneaking into the grove.
What do you think about that?
That's crazy.
Those videos are pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel. It's like very culty.
Well, it said that they dress up like druids, and it's an all male secret society group that meets.
Yeah.
So, all culty like, definitely.
Definitely. That was our last video, by the way, for the Bohemian Grove videos that we had.
I could have sworn I sent you more.
No, that was all we had for tonight. But I did want to ask you, who do you think is most likely? Like, do you think every last president since Calvin Coolidge, not only Republican but also Democrat, has gone to Bohemian Grove?
Allegedly, in my opinion, yes.
So you think that guy that asked Bill Clinton if he went, you think that was a valid question?
Yeah.
I think Bill Clinton probably went.
I do too.
So, and other things in the news lately, we've been hearing about these files that were supposed to be being released for certain people like JFK, Martin Luther King Jr., Robert F. Kennedy, Epstein, and P. Diddy. And absolutely nothing, to my knowledge, nothing new at least, has been released yet. How long do you think it will take them to release any of these files? And how soon do you think we'll have answers? And do you think we'll get any answers that actually matter?
Honestly, it's probably going to take a while. And if we do get answers, it'll probably be what we need to know basis kind of answers.
Yeah, I feel like we're not going to get the smoking gun of who killed Kennedy. Like, I think we all know who did it, but they're still not going to give us a file that says they did it, you know.
They're probably going to release files with a bunch of black on
redacted.
certain words, redacted files, and I'm like, no, we want to know the truth.
Yeah, well,
And
I feel the American people deserve the truth about certain things. For instance, you being a flat earther, you know, like you want to know the truth about the world around you, and you feel like these scientists and the government aren't telling you the complete truth.
Exactly.
Weird things going on in certain part of the world, and the government knows about it and they're not talking about it. I too also feel certain ways about this, that the government is most definitely hiding certain secrets from certain people, whether that's top secret government stuff, or if it's just like outlandish crazy stuff, like what if the world were actually flat, and they knew the entire freaking time and they didn't tell anybody, and the biblical earth has been real the entire time. Like, that would be absolutely insane, and
it's like
something
this.
that would be something that the people would probably never trust the government again if that ended up to be true.
It's like this. Okay. So I'm quoting my mother for a second. My mother says, do your research, right? How
Yeah.
much more research do I need to fucking do when I've done all the research I can? But
Well, they say, once you go flat Earth, you don't go back, because flat Earth does make quite a bit of sense. The only problem is I feel like all of these people that do believe in the flat Earth want to preach that it's all Bible related, and I understand that. Like, I understand that certain Christians and Catholics want to believe that the Earth is flat because that's what the Bible tells us.
it's
But
not
then,
just, it's
science.
not,
Well, I'm saying that science has rulings where they clap back at every single aspect of the Earth being flat, and they have some answer for absolutely everything. You know what I mean? Like, they will
well,
not even entertain that.
well, it's not just that. Okay. You're right. My thing is not just the flat Earth subject, but you got there's all these other subjects all around the world that, okay, why does the government um, get pissy when you want to go near the ice wall? Why is it that, oh, certain places are off limits when in America, like,
Well,
seriously,
isn't
who
the whole thing about
cares?
isn't the whole thing about, if it is an ice wall, that it's just the fact that we have a truce in Antarctica where all of the cities and, sorry, not cities, all of the countries and territories around the world have basically agreed that Antarctica is off limits, except for science and research. And that's why normal people like you and me aren't allowed there.
Okay, but here's the thing. We're allowed there, but in certain spots.
Well, yeah, you can go stand on a 60-foot ice shelf that penguins and seals hang out on, and you can stand there for about an hour and a half, and then you have to get back on a boat and leave.
No, they actually allow you to stay there for a certain amount of days. Like, there's been times where I've seen these people actually go there
I
for a
wonder how much
bit.
money you have to pay to do that, because
Right,
they don't
right.
let people explore, because they
They
don't let you.
okay. So you go on a plane, right?
Yeah.
They have their own food there that they bring there. And you get your own, like, bed or whatever. Like, it's basically like its own little, like, town that they built there just so people could stay and experience Antarctica for a
Yeah.
certain amount of days. And it's like a vacation like deal. But the thing is, you can't go
Past a
certain,
certain spot.
yeah, and it's stupid. Like, I would love to see for my own eyes the truth one day.
That's the
I've
problem, right? Is none of us have enough money to even take a trip to Antarctica.
exactly, that is a problem, and my,
Like, I I
I'm
love
all
I love how these people preach freedom. Like, they preach free, like, you're so free, you have all this freedom to do everything, but you really don't. You really don't have freedom unless you have money. If you have money, you have a certain level of freedom, but I would say you're still limited freedoms. Like,
and you know
it's
what they say
crazy.
about money. You know what they say about money as well, which is
The
absolute
root of
truth.
all evil.
Yep, and that's the sad part of that about it. And my thing is, okay, we got all these things like Bohemian Grove, which we just covered tonight. We got the Vatican City. We got the Illuminati subjects. We got all these conspiracies that we want you guys to hear.
and
we
that
can't
we love to cover.
we can't prove a lot. We'll just say alleged because we can't prove it.
We like to.
We would
talk
love
about
to
it.
prove it, but this is the fucked up part. We had a World War II video 2 days ago. It got taken off YouTube because the government does not want people to know the truth.
Well, no, I don't think it was that. So honestly, what I think it was there's certain video that was in the video that basically got copyright striked. There's a possibility that they don't want anybody else making money off of it, which is understandable. But at the same time, I also think, in my personal opinion, unless it's creator, like actual creator footage that is created by a personal creator, it should be free range footage. So I think it's BS that YouTube or Twitch or any of these streaming services, streaming services can block or try to deny certain levels of, I consider it almost freedom of speech, because if it's on video and it's out there for the public already, then why can't I post it and stream it? It's already out there, replatformed.
Last season we did JFK.
Yeah.
We did JFK last season, and Robert swear up and down we were shadow. With that video alone, got shadow banned, and it made sense because here's the thing. Now, I'm not blaming a former co-host of ours who was part of last season for a little bit. Well, I'm not gonna blame him mostly, but when that video came out, our views went down.
Yeah, significantly dropped.
So, if you guys love our podcasts, please share, react, watch, comment.
Yeah, we gotta get it out there, because when you talk about topics like this, or you talk about touchy subjects, the algorithms seem to turn off where we can get reached to. So we're just looking for as much help as we can. If you enjoy the cast and you love what we talk about and you find it interesting, then like, share, subscribe, and just keep up with us. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitch. Pretty soon we're gonna try to set up an X account. We'll be on X also. But for tonight, I think that's going to be it. So much love from Robert and crew. Peace.
Welcome to another installment of the Robert and Crew Show with your hosts, Robert and Crew.